Hey everybody, it's the Wolf1 coming at you from MMORPG.com as well as here at the Wolf Den on YouTube. We're doing an Atlas video, so get ready, let's go. As you can see, as far as I'm playing, I'm getting pretty good frame rates right now. Playing on medium graphics right now, getting about 50 to 60 frames per second. 60 right now is the max. As you can see here though, there are some issues. I just died. And that's a big problem here with Atlas because if you see, I've got a little montage of death scenes. And, you know, I spent 15 minutes, and I only cut a few clips of this, but I spent 15 minutes spawning underwater and dying to fish. Straight. Like, a couple times, something weird really happened to me. And you'll see it here in just a second. I actually spawned up in the air, and then I just started falling through the earth. Nothing there. Start falling through the earth. So it's kind of crazy, you know, whatever, you know, it's early access, there's gonna be bugs, but you see me falling through the air right now, and it's like, why would that happen? Now we'll get to some actual gameplay. So another thing that's a real big issue is all these predators. They're all over the place, and if you're trying to run someplace, there's a good likelihood that you're gonna get your butt handed to you and die. So sometimes you can swim in the water and get away from them. If you go to the deep enough water, you can get away from them. But then you get attacked by sharks or jellyfish or something else. So, you know, each thing has its own time. But as far as Atlas is concerned, it is early access. We have seen some issues where spawns are buggy, there's lag, you know, servers drop, they kick you off for some reason. But the one good thing that Atlas has been doing is they have been updating the server quite regularly. I mean, originally, day one, I beta tested it before they launched it live, and I was getting, you know, 45, 50 frames per second on ultra settings, and I was having a great time with it, but there's only like 70 people on that particular server, so that's one thing. As soon as they launched, it went downhill fast. Like, I launched into free ports, because I didn't want to deal with the lawless regions, and I would die within, I don't know, 10 seconds, just because of all the lag. There was so much rubber banding, so much lag. Now you can go into a free port and you have no issues whatsoever. The biggest thing I have an issue with is just the amount of bugs that still exist with the animals themselves. I think the aggro range should be decreased a little bit, personally, in my opinion, just because you could be like 100 meters away and one of these wolves is just going to start attacking you. Or a lion is going to come and they pick you up by the feet and pick you up into the air. It's a weird bug too. I think it's a bug. I hope it's a bug. But they need to fix those animations a little bit. But I mean, once you get into Atlas and you really get into it, you can play with other friends, you can craft, you can hunt, you can do all this stuff, and you literally don't have that many issues anymore. Like, you can completely play the game almost bug-free if you're in an area that is set up for it. So I have some friends, I join them on the game. As you can see here, we're going right to joining a company so I can use the bed to fast travel, which is another weird thing. You use a bed to fast travel. I mean, it drops all your items, but you fast travel to someplace else. So I fast travel to our base. And this particular base, they've been playing on the PvE server a lot longer than I have, and I was only playing on the PvP server because I wanted to blow other players up. Well, after getting killed quite a few times by other players and the area I was in, I said, forget it, let's go PvE. So I went to their base, and they've got a pretty good setup already, but I have to level up a new character. So the best thing to do with leveling up characters is literally just going out harvesting, attacking other creatures that are out there, like pigs and turtles and stuff like that. Stuff that's weak enough that you can attack them and hurt them, but you want to make sure you have the proper equipment. So the best thing I can say about that is using bows and arrows, using your spears. You can go spear fishing, you know, you can attack them with the bow and arrow. You can do all sorts of things with this game. You just have to know how to do it. And after spending over 30 hours on this game, I mean, I have seen a big change from how the game was originally to how the game is now. So you definitely want to stick to it. If you haven't played it yet, if you haven't bought into the hype and everything, I know it was hyped up really big pre-launch. If you want to get into the game but you're apprehensive about it, give it a little bit of time. I'd say give it maybe a couple more weeks, maybe a month. They have been working out some big things with the game, and it's a lot more stable now than it was at launch. So if you want to get into it but you're apprehensive, watch some streams, see what's going on. You know, the people will show you through their gameplay how are things going, you know, and in that way you can find yourself in a more stable position, a better gaming position. You won't feel like you wasted $30 now, so you won't feel like you wasted the money. As you can see, the crafting trees are pretty good. I mean, you can see on the bottom of the inventory where everything is when you want to craft it. You get enough materials, you right click on it, you craft the items. Right here I'm going through some of our food stores just because I needed a couple pieces of meat and, you know, some of the vitamins so I could do my video. I had to record this video separately from actual gameplay because I didn't want to have all the background noises and stuff in it. But you've got your pickaxes, you got your regular hatchets, you got swords, you got guns. I saw somebody flying around on an aircraft type of thing, what looked like something from Michelangelo's, you know, his workshop. But overall, the game is really fun for me when you're not getting killed by animals every 5 seconds. So some spawns need to be changed. Oh, speaking of spawns, so you saw my death montage at the beginning of the game. So spawning underwater for 15 minutes straight is a little ridiculous. The next thing, spawning in the air, little ridiculous. The biggest issue I have besides those two things is when you're on a specific island and you spawn inside of a mountain, but you're like way up high. So you're hundreds of feet in the air. You have to somehow safely navigate your way down the side of the mountain without falling and killing yourself. In the spot I was in, I was lucky enough to have water right outside of where I was. So all I literally had to do was jump into the water. And it was a great thing. Switching to the PvE server, you know, we're on an island now that's pretty flat, no mountains. It's got enough materials around, metal, salt, rocks, you know, everything you need to start your city up and everything like that, to get boats built, because sailing boats is really fun. The mechanic they have where you have to open the sails and then you can direct the sails the direction you want to go, it's really fun to learn something new like that, because some games you don't have that much control with a radio menu like that. I mean, in some ways you kind of wish maybe the boat system was just like you push WASD like you would a car on Grand Theft Auto or something like that, and just drive around the water. But it gives it that new mechanic where the wind is actually catching your sails and you're actually turning the sails manually like somebody on a ship might do. You know, I know they've got rudders and stuff like that, but they would still have to swing their sails to catch the wind. Otherwise, you're going to sit in the water and you're not going to go anywhere. You know. So, as far as that's concerned, everything with this game has been hyped up. Some of it has not hit home. Some of it has been really cool. I mean, everybody's calling it an ARC download, or not download, but DLC. And, you know, in a way, it kind of seems like it, because some of the things are the same way ARC would be, and some of the things are the way, you know, this game could be as a solo player game. But somebody originally found a menu that linked it directly to an ARC menu, so it basically looked like it was ARC DLC. Now, some of the things are better, some might be worse. You know, take it with a grain of salt, however you guys want to put it. You know, you can play ARC, you can play 7 Days to Die, and other games like that, survival games that have an MMO feel to it. Any way you guys want to hash it out, you know, overall it's a game that you're going to get into, you're going to invest time into, just like any MMO out there. It's got fighting, it's got the RPG, you know, the skill tree, it's like an RPG. So, I mean, you gotta fight to get experience points, and then you level up, and then you earn skill points that you can put into your tree. So however you want to play it that way. You can be a sailor specifically, you can go down to pirate skills, you can go be a cook, you can specifically do one job, and everybody else in your community, if you have a community, will do the other jobs, and you can still craft stuff. You can be a specific member of that guild that is cooking for everybody and preserving the food. You can go out and be a hunter, you can be a gatherer. I mean, whatever you want to do, whatever you want your job to be, that can be what you do. So don't make it something where you don't think you're going to play the game and buy it, and then you play it for 10 minutes and you're like, I don't really like this. Definitely take a look at it. Take it with a grain of salt. Play it how you want to play it, and then just go from there. And I mean, what you guys are going to notice is that however you play your game, you're going to get the most enjoyment out of it for playing it exactly how you are going to play it. So play it as hard as you want, play as little as you want. Remember a couple quick things when you're playing in lawless regions and you're playing in areas that you might not have a bed or anything saved like that yet, or you haven't claimed anything, any starting areas, you literally can lose your stuff. Somebody's claimed my boats, somebody's claimed my bases, so just be careful with what you're doing and you'll be fine. Have a great time with it and just go all out. That's all I can say about that at this point. But that's it for me from the Wolf One's Den and from MMORPG. Check me out on these listings here. See you next time.